Hi everyone, it's Lisa. I am sitting on my dock here at Otter Lake. There's some construction going on around me, but hopefully you can hear me well enough. So today we're going to be talking about fundamental movement skills, which are so important. And sadly, more and more children in Canada are developing without developing them. So these are skills that children learn. Generally, they start learning when they're quite young, preschool, toddler, and they keep learning throughout the years. What we know is that these skills are the building blocks for a lot of things that we do as human beings. So there are three main categories. There's locomotor, which is moving of the body and coordination. There's body control, which is really about balancing. And then there's object control, so holding and manipulating an object. So catching a ball, swinging a bat, things like that. And these skills not only affect a child's ability to participate in sports or have a healthy, active lifestyle, but it also affects their ability to hold a pencil, tie their shoes, any of those skills, those coordination skills that we need. And the estimates right now are that about 80% of children don't have the fundamental movement skills that they need. In a little bit, we'll talk about why that is, but you can be thinking about that right now. So as teachers, this is really important for us to be aware of, whether or not we're actually going to end up teaching health and physical education or whether we're going to be classroom teachers. We can incorporate these skills into our classes. Okay. So I think that this graphic really helps us understand just how limiting life can be for us if we don't have these skills. So if you can't run, you won't take part in all of these skills. If you can't throw, you won't. And you could choose any of these. So it just shows you how important these three basic categories of movement skills are, and how much of the world knowing them opens to us. We do know too, as you age, it gets harder to acquire these skills. So if you didn't learn how to balance as a child, it's going to be much more difficult to learn that as a young adult or older adult. If you didn't learn how to jump as a child, it's going to be harder for you to learn how to jump. Okay, so I want you to pause me for a minute, and I've set up a Padlet just so that we can think about our own growing up years and the fundamental movement skills that we really felt confident in, that we feel like we learned, or maybe those that we didn't learn. Okay, so if I'll just go to here, and you can see that I started on our Padlet. That locomotor for me, I really excelled in that. And all of those things were really a big part of my life and still are. And then object control, I remember being super afraid of the ball when someone would throw it at me. So I'm thinking that if I had better ball control skills, I might have been able to feel more confident and then been part of more activities like baseball, or maybe even been a goalie in something. Anyway, so pause me now, if you don't mind, and click on the link here so that you can go over to our Padlet. Actually, you probably can't click the link through the video, I'm just realizing. So I am going to post this link for you on our Brightspace page, so you'll see it. Okay, pause me now, and I'll see you in a minute. Okay, so I hope that activity just let you have a think about the importance of fundamental movement skills and why we really need to learn them. I've included this chart because I think it really gives a good idea of all the different actions, activities, and sports that are associated with each one. They're called fundamental for a reason. And this is why in the past 30 years, the decrease of children learning these skills is so concerning. Some of the reasons from the research are sedentary lifestyles, less free play outdoors. When I was a kid, it was, I mean, it sounds like a cliche, but it really was. We were outside running around, jumping, twirling, playing basketball, playing soccer, just a lot of free play. I think the rising costs of sports programs too keep a lot of kids from being involved in sports where these skills are taught and practiced. Screens are a huge one. More and more kids are spending their days and weekends and evenings on the couch in front of video games on phones. And all that time that they're spending on screens is concerning, not only for the time they're on screens, but for all the things they're not doing during those times. There's also less gym time in schools than there used to be, and there's less direct teaching of these skills. I'm not sure why. If in some areas, I think teachers are having trouble managing the class to be able to teach direct skills, so they're relying more on games that have been played over and over and don't take as much organization. But these are some of the reasons that the research shows. So 80% of children don't have fundamental movement skills or are 3 to 5 years behind. That's shocking, and I think that's a call to action to us as teachers. More so because this seems to be an issue of equity. So household income, social economic status is a factor in fundamental movement skills. So we see children who are coming from more marginalized groups that experience inequity have higher rates of not having these skills. So considering this, even though fundamental movement skills were more associated with things that we would be teaching to preschoolers or primary grades, because so many kids in grade 4, 5, and 6 don't have these skills, it's very important for us as junior teachers to be teaching them. So there's many ways to teach fundamental movement skills, and games is a great way. So I've put a link on here, which will be on your Brightspace, so you can access it, but I'll just bring it up. So I really love this document because it's Ontario focused, but it really goes through the curriculum links to the different fundamental movement skills. And then it gives you games based on the skill, and then what to look for as a teacher. Okay, so what I'd like you to do when you turn me off is just to spend a few minutes browsing through this document and just thinking about, you know, oh yeah, I've done that with the class, or I've seen my associate teacher do that with a class. That's a red squirrel, by the way, probably telling me to get off her dock. And just have a look through it. There's a lot of really great activities in here that directly teach those skills. Okay, so fundamental message of this little talk is that fundamental movement skills have become so endangered in our society that they are absolutely fundamental for every teacher to try and incorporate in their classes, no matter age, grade, or subject. Okay, so wishing you all a great rest of your day, and I'll see you again soon. Bye.